and he'll settle.
Okay, fine. So I'll do it off screen. I was intrigued indeed by the whole idea of doing this computer game, and I have a feeling that this is the way the movie business is going to go in the future. This may save the movie business, per se. I mean, they probably won't do it all blue screen or green screen. They'll mix it, you know, with real sets, and then the more expensive sets that they can't possibly afford to do will be done in this way with computers. You just have your own little imagination going, that you're in the middle of this incredible starship, you know, and out the window is another galaxy. So it's fun to do. It's fun. I'm doing Star Trek at the moment, and the movie of it, and actually they've built the sets. What we see here on computer, they've built, and they're up to $35 million.
When I direct a project, you know, I come up with the original concept and design, then I work with a lot of other bright, talented, creative people to sort of fulfill that sort of vision that I have for the project. And you know, so I'll work with programmers and artists and musicians, and so we'll sort of break the project down into its parts, and I'll say, look, here you're going to you know, go off and write the artificial intelligence for the bad guys. Here's my idea of what it should be like. And then usually the programmer will come back and say, here's the artificial intelligence, and you know, if things work out well, he's gone and done something that's, you know, 5 times better than I thought it was going to be, and 5 times better than I expected it to be. And I go, wow, that's really great.
The combination of the graphics in the space flight and the graphics with the silicon graphics that we did with the interiors of the ship and with the live action and everything else will actually give you a really complete experience. There's no place in the game really where you feel like you're not actually there, like you're not actually on board the Victory and actually flying these missions.
Technologically, it's definitely a groundbreaker. I mean, just you know, the step into the Super VGA graphics. It's, you know, I mean, even to us developing it, it's impressive. You know, and it's actually a lot of fun for us to go into the game and play it. You know, so that with the 3D technology, it's really taking leaps and bounds, you know, as to what we've been able to do in the past. I think one of the most important things is that the people developing the game are big game players themselves, and so, you know, we take that enjoyment into mind when we're developing the software, and you know, and try to think, you know, what's the user going to want, you know, what are they going to want to be able to do. So I think that's an important thing.
You look in Flanders. Something about when 2 drones are flying in this front.
The main project we're working on is AI. I've done all the artificial intelligence for all space objects, basically. The turrets, rear turrets, all fighter ships. Just making sure we get a good balance between strong AI and playability. I mean, my initial reaction was to try and do really good AI where you just couldn't hit it, and it quickly turned out that that wasn't much fun. It was difficult to try and get accurate AI and not look like it was computer-controlled AI. We tried very much to get some sort of personality in there. Right now, there's about 8 different personalities that we based AI on. We try to make it feel like you're playing against people, and more so than actually computer-controlled AI.
It's been interesting because I'm sort of in the gray area. This game essentially is operated in 2 different poles. You have the movie side of things, and you also have the space flight. GameFlow kind of stands in the middle between those 2. It uses elements of both and administrates both elements, but is still at the same time separate. And it's been interesting trying to design a single unified system to control all of that at the same time. I think Wing 3 is the ultimate extension of what we have been doing up to this point, having a spaceflight simulator with an interactive plot. I think it's just at the beginning of what is possible with interactive movies.
It was a lot more grueling, I guess. I guess in retrospect, you know, I feel like we've accomplished an amazing amount. I mean, this was like This one game has more artwork in it probably than all the other Wing Commanders and Special Operations discs and all that stuff all combined. You run into logistical difficulties when you're like working with a real model, in that you have to move cameras around and blow smoke out, and you only get one take, and if you screw up the one take, then you've got to do it again, and it costs an enormous amount of money. In our case, what we do is we rather than going and constructing physical models, we go into the computer environment, which is it's a simulated 3D environment. You actually build a model, but you build it on the computer. So you actually have this full three-dimensional object, with paint and lighting on it and everything, but it only exists, in the computer's memory. And then where it becomes a benefit to you is that once you have that thing built in the memory, you can do pretty much anything you want to with it.
Yeah, it's the biggest game in the industry ever so far, but it's always great at Origin to be able to work on the biggest games, and that's exactly what this is right now. It really is like you're watching a piece of video from a movie.
My whole theory behind film scoring, and this really is more like film scoring, I think, than writing for a game per se, even though it is called a game. My whole philosophy behind that is the music shouldn't interfere with what's going on. And in terms of what I want the player to feel, whatever that person is feeling, at whatever point of the game is perfectly logical, and I just want the music to sort of highlight that.
What the heck is this?
Yeah, I know that everyone out there wants to do this. I'm not sure whether they know how to do it right, just like we probably don't know how to do movies right. So I think the best answer is they want to do it, and if we want to do their stuff, it's kind of we meet in the middle and we sort of share each other's talent and knowledge. So I think it's best if both parties share each other's knowledge, and I think then you'll get some truly awesome products.